Guys, welcome back to my channel. Hey, it's your girl Barbie. And I'm back with another video for you and you. So guys, if you hear any noise while I'm filming this video, please pardon the noise because there's a dog, and also like this building is a new building, so it's actually under construction and everything. So I know by now that all of you have seen the vlog about my relocation. Many people have been in my DMs and also in my comment section asking me how it was possible for me to move to Poland right now. What I would say is that moving to Poland right now is a very big hassle. Like, it's quite the hassle. But before I start this video, I'm going to give reference to God, because frankly guys, it is God that is the author of this process, like literally. So in 2021, I went back to Nigeria and I was thinking like, oh, after I finish uni, where am I going to go? Do I want to come back to Nigeria? So I was really thinking, and if some of you don't know, like last year when I went back to Nigeria, you can watch my vlog, it was really fun, but I was still thinking like, do I really want to stay here and do I want to work here? But yeah, I prayed about it, and not going back to Nigeria was the best option. So now, the process of coming to this country started in 2021. So I now decided that I'm going to get my permanent residence card in Belarus, which I got. Now, why I got this permanent residence card was because as of 2020, I wanted to travel out of the country. But apart from COVID, it wasn't really possible because my school made, I don't know if it was my school or if it was the government, but there was a new rule that you could not travel if you do not have permanent residence permit, which I'm not really sure it was, like, I don't really know who even brought out this rule or if it was just a rumor. So after that, I just decided to get my PR. So when I got my PR, that was the beginning step. So the first step in coming to Poland is for you to decide what kind of process you want to use to come to Poland. Right now, the process that is working very well from most countries is the study visa. So the process now began. I started to look for schools. I started to research schools. When I came back, I researched, before I even left, I researched different schools. I was now looking for what to study and what to, do. So I talked to my parents and I decided to study in the school I am. So first of all, you have to find a school. For my admission process, I didn't really do much because I had an agent, which is one thing I'm going to say. If you are planning to come to Poland and you want to do it on your own, Oyo is your case. You can try, you can. Many people have done it on their own. I have a friend that did it on the person's own. But the best thing I would advise, if you are coming to Poland from Belarus, but also maybe from Nigeria, to find an agent. Because guys, when it was time to pay my fees, because I had to, so like first of all, you find a school, you find out the admission process, and then you have to pay your school fees before you receive your invitation letter. So when it was time to pay my school fees, I said, okay, I'm in Belarus, like it shouldn't be a problem paying my school fees from Belarus. So I got the money into my account and I wanted to pay my fees. And guys, I found out the shock of my life. Like, I could not pay my school fees from Belarus. Just the fact that the school fees was supposed to be in euros. The only way I could pay it was if I went to Belarus bank and paid it in rubles. And my school was like, no, they're not going to accept the school fees in rubles. I now had to send the money to my agent and he paid my school fees for me. So that's it. Like, after I got my school fee paid, my invitation was ready like 3 days after, and my agent sent it to me. And since sending documents from Poland to Belarus is not that hard, you can literally use a bus I got um my invitation letter quite quickly. So as at March, I had already decided on the school I wanted to go to and the study I wanted to do. So after getting your invitation letter, the second process begins. I don't know if I will shall be detailed. I'm just listing out my process. Now, this visa process is the one you have to grab God and hold God in your right and left hand. So for the visa process, the documents you will need is your passport, your application, your proof of funds, your medical insurance, your school invitation, and your accommodation details. And when I was applying, it was not possible for me to get accommodation in the school hostel because due to the war, a lot of Ukrainians had already moved to Poland and they were staying in the hostels. So I tried using booking.com to find hostels, but I didn't find an host. Like I didn't find a hostel I could stay in for like 1 month to come here and look for an apartment. So what helped me again was my agent. My agent found a way to get me accommodation details. Now for the visa process in Belarus, I would advise you to go to a travel agency. So again, the agent I used referred me to a travel agency, but you could look for like any travel agencies. I know there are many in Belarus. You just look for a travel agency that deals with Schengen processes. And before you do this, you have to go to the embassy, not the embassy, VFS process. VFS, like visa something something. One office SHA, the address is SHA Maxima Gokova 87. I think it's beside Grodno State Medical University. Like it's not far from there. I think it's Maxima Gokova 87A, but 87 SHA. You have to go there and you have to go and ask them for the process of getting a visa. Some of them can be very rude because one time I met a woman and she was like, no, that they don't give visas to foreigners. I should just forget about it and I should go back to Nigeria. Guys, this broke my heart. But then I called my mom and I told my mom that please can she go to the Nigerian embassy and find out about like the process of getting visa. And I found out that the Nigerian embassy, you have to start booking and the process, like it takes 6 months for you to get an appointment. So I was like, there's no way I'm going back to Nigeria. 6 months, I would have just written the MDCN. So I'm not going back. So I kept trying and trying, and that's when I met this travel agent that could book an appointment for me. So before you go to before you go to get your school invitation, your accommodation, all these things, find out about the process because I'm telling you, it changes every time. What works for me might not work for you. I'm telling you that even after watching this video, don't do like I'm saying in this video. Go to the embassy and find out the details. You can go to www.gov.pl to find out information of the process. But if you cannot see the information there, go to either the Polish embassy in Nigeria or VFS office in Grodno or wherever. But also there is different embassies. How you could find out your embassies, I think you can write www.vfs.com and then it will take you to the website and you write the country you are in and the country you are going to, and then you will see embassies around. I think it works for some Schengen countries. So when I went to that website, I found out that I could book appointments there. But guys, I'm telling you that I see my process. Like I started applying, I got my invitation letter like first week of July, and I did not get an appointment till August. Like you guys, you don't understand. The only way I could get an appointment for me was when I finally paid an agent. And even when I paid the agent about 700 rubles, 710 rubles to be precise. And I think it took them like 4 weeks before I could finally get an appointment. So when I got an appointment, I went to the agency. Why I say you should book an agency is because that I noticed that my agency helped me to fill out my application form, and they helped me to fill out most of my documents. Like, they helped me to arrange it very, very well, because obviously you will see on the www.gov.pl, you will see the documents you need, but you know, this agency, they kind of know in depth, or like they have people that are there that they can find out information from. So I would advise that you use an agent. Then the next thing is accommodation. I think I'm done with the visa process. I don't think there's any other thing. I think I will come back to it, but for the visa process, you just need to, when you finish getting your appointment, you pack all your documents, you go to the embassy. For the proof of funds, you need to have, I had like 2,500, but I think the embassy needs you to have like 2,200 to be on a safe side, but I had like 2,500, so I wanted to be like a safer side. But yeah, you should have about $2,500 in your bank statement, and your bank, oh guys, please ignore, and your bank statement should be updated. Basically, like if you are going to submit, if you have an appointment on the, and one thing about the appointment, like I found out I had an appointment the day of, so I had to run to the bank to go and print out bank statements. So like I would advise that you should literally like not use the money in your bank account, okay? Because you would have to print out the bank statement basically the morning of your appointment. So I did that, and then I went to the VFS office, and when I went there, I found out that they didn't want to collect my documents that same day. They said I needed a letter from the consular, which is another problem, you guys. The consular does not reply his email for Jack, and if you even reply the email, all he will say in the email is that you should book an appointment. So literally, when I got my appointment on the 17th and I went to the embassy, they were like, oh, sorry that they cannot collect my documents. I need to have a letter from the consular. So, but the person I met, thank God, was a very nice woman. So she collected my documents, printed it out, and told me I should come back on the 31st to fully submit my documents. So I fully submitted my documents on the 31st of August, and it takes 15 working days for your visa to be out. So that 15 working days, you can use it to pack your things and be ready and pray. But what I've noticed is that if they call you before 15 working days, it's bad news. I'm sorry, but it's bad news. So pray to God, like pray to God, really, you really have to pray to God. Yeah. Also, next point, I think that's all. I think after 15 working days, they'll call you up on the day of the 15 working days. When you reach the embassy, you have to pay, but the amount to pay is not really much. I think I paid like 242 rubles or so. It's not plenty money, for the visa or something. I don't really know. I can't really remember. I can't really remember the cost of every single thing I paid for. But yeah, that's the amount you have to pay. Then the next thing I'm going to talk about is accommodation. Hey, Baba God, this one is not a funny process. Guys, if you're coming from Belarus to Poland, just forget the mentality of Belarus cost. Like, I don't find now things are getting expensive in Belarus, but Poland is not your mate too. So when I was looking for an apartment, my agents told me that apartments will be ranging from $300 to $800. I was like, am I living in heaven? Like, I don't want much of an apartment. Although me, I had a particular taste in apartments, which was a bit problematic. I didn't want to live in a house that someone has lived in before. because of energies. I'm sorry. I know, yes, I'm a drama queen, yes, but that was me. I didn't want to live in a house that someone has lived in before. I wanted a new house. I didn't want to live in a shared apartment because I didn't want to live with people I don't know. And yeah, first of all, there are even the shared apartments. You see shared apartments of 7 people, and you literally have only a room, like literally a small cubicle room. There's one I saw, no wardrobe, and I was expected to pay $250 for the room. I was like, no, no, I'm not doing it. Maybe. And literally, you have to, like, some shared apartments, you are lucky your bathroom and toilet is inside with you, but the ones I was saying is not inside with you. So now, how to find apartments? I'm going to help you guys, because, like, you know, in Belarus we have this website kufa.by and irr.by that you can just go and look for apartments and you will see. But here it's not like that. You have to go to Facebook. You people, Facebook marketplace is very active in this Europe. I had to re-download Facebook because I was looking for apartments. So I'm going to try, when I'm editing, I will leave the names of the pages that I used on my screen. Another thing about this country is that for the accommodation, you have to use agents. You people, I'm telling you that everything is agents. You have to use agents who will co-sign your lease with you, because apparently here there is a rule that you can stay for like 3 months and you will not pay your rent. It's not a problem. The government will not disturb you. So now what landlords do is you co-sign with your agent. And if you don't pay your rent, you would move to the agent's house. So that was it. Like, finally, by God's grace, the week that I was waiting for my visa to come out, like my visa was supposed to come out on the 21st, on the 16th or so, I finally found this apartment that I'm living in, and I really love. No one has lived in it. It's beautiful and it's comfortable for me, thank God. So after finding an apartment, the next thing you have to budget for is your food. Like, cost of living in this country is a bit high. In fact, it's not a bit, it is high. It is very, very high. Like, literally, I have not stayed here for up to 1 month. I've stayed here for 3 weeks, but best believe that I have spent up to 300 or 250 or more dollars for feeding, because the, like, like, I don't even understand. And the funny thing is I'm eating the same thing every day, because like I'm repeating so that I would not, like, you know, spend a lot of money. But I think that what really eats my, or what is really eating my money is the transportation in this country, because you have to use the bus. I think I've talked about it in my vlog. Like, you have to, I was using the bus and I'm using Uber, which is expensive, but it's expensive compared to the fact that in Belarus you can find Uber for 2 rubles, and here 2 rubles, better be trekking, because I don't even think the bus, okay, is the bus 2 rubles? I think so. I think maybe the bus is 2 rubles. Can you imagine, guys? The bus is 2 rubles. So trust me, that is different. Then the next thing I have to talk about, so I had gotten my visa. I knew that my visa was coming out on the 21st, so I started to book a bus. So my mindset was to book a big bus, so that, because I was, moving out of a country, is that you can use flights, and the flight ticket is not even for the week. So it's either you use flights or you use bus. So I decided to use a bigger bus because my box and my luggages are much. So I said, okay, since I'm relocating, let me use a big bus. Guys, I'm telling you that the bus driver refused to carry me. I showed him everything. I showed him my diploma, I showed him my PR, I showed him my invitation letter, I showed him my passport, I showed him my visa, and he was like, no, he's not carrying me. And that really left me very devastated. Like, I almost cried. If I did not cry, I almost cried, and I was like, what is really happening? Like, I was going from one problem to the other, like literally step by step, step by step, step by step trouble. And then what even happened? Finally, my friend called like and suggested that I book another bus, like while I was standing there. Luckily for me, there was a bus coming by 12:30, so I booked that bus and I booked another one by 1, and I was like, whether the devil likes it or not, I am leaving this country this night because I have tried for Belarus. It's time to see new things. Luckily for me, the bus by 12:30 carried me. But guys, I found out why they did not want to carry me. At the Belarus border, you have to come down and go and show your passport. And the way they were scanning my passport, they will be looking. I was like, what are these people? I'm like, what are you people looking for? The visa is there. I have my PR. What are you people really, really looking for? I thought that was small. When I now reached the Polish border, they asked me for my invitation letter. I showed them. They said that why is my invitation letter in Polish? That I would have translated it to English. You see why in my vlog, if you notice, I did not know because I did not know the border that I was at because of the bullying that was happening there. Like the woman in Polish embassy literally carried my invitation and everything and left the box, and I was standing there, and every passenger would wait for just one. And then you that I would be the last. Like, my driver was really lovely, like a God sent angel to me. Like, this man literally, like when the bus stops, he will wake me up and be like, oh, I should come down there at this stop. The man was so nice to the other passengers. I think he even bought them drinks for their relocation. Like, the man was so nice. He was so nice. One of the passengers, a Belarusian, had problem and had to drop at the Belarus border to return back. He literally waited for her to find a transport that was going back into Belarus. Like, my driver was so nice, and I feel like that is what God wanted. God did not want me to go with that first bus. That literally, my friend was like, as the bus was leaving, one of the passengers was laughing at the fact that I wasn't picked. So God did not want me, because they would have probably been impatient. But the bus I was in, I really loved every single person. Like, even when I reached the Polish border, they will search your bag. Like, one of the passengers carried my bag and like helped me in the searching. God gave me the princess treatment that I deserve. So I think that's it. When you enter your bus, you cross the border, hooray, you're in Poland. So I don't know if anybody has any question, but I feel like if you are thinking of, should I move to Poland or anything, I would advise you move to another European country, but also a Schengen country. Why I decided to come to Poland is because, one, is a Schengen country, and two, me getting the visa automatically means me getting these people. Automatically means me getting a work visa, and I can work and save up money to do what I want to do in future. And as so many people, like, I really thank God for this opportunity. I'm going to give all reference to God, because what God cannot do does not exist. Literally, this story is a miracle, because now only those that know will know. So if you really want to move to Poland from Nigeria or from Belarus, what I would advise you to do is start to look for appointment dates. But also, don't be looking for appointment dates when you have not settled at your school invitation and your accommodations. Those are the two things that used to cause problem for people. And when you are submitting your documents, try to submit your diploma, like for example, if you're going for a master's degree, you have to show them that you have finished your undergraduate degree. And if you are going for bachelor's degree, you have to show them that you have finished your high school education. So make sure you have proof of that, because that's what I know most of the time makes them to deny people. And also, when you're having proof of funds, if you don't write that you're sponsoring yourself, if you write that you're sponsoring yourself, I think that has been a problem for some people. Then what other thing? Pray to God. And I hope I have covered everything. I literally said my process, detail, like what I did. But if you have any question, leave it in the description box. If I don't put the names of the Facebook pages I used to find accommodation on the screen, please check my description box, because I will put it there. And yeah, if you have any question, I will try my best to reply you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like it. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will more likely be a vlog. Bye guys.